Hello and welcome to my review of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We'll be going into spoilers, so if you've not played the game but wish to, then please turn off the review and I hope you enjoy. Okay? The game itself has been marred with controversy, let's just say, but I've personally played the game over the last week, and all I can say is I've thoroughly enjoyed it as part of the Arkhamverse. It's definitely different in its gameplay, and that's the only thing that holds it back a little bit. But overall, the storyline is actually really good. There are one or two scenes that are a bit questionable, but there are nice surprises along the way. Anyway, you do get to sadly kill the Justice League, I'm afraid. Although the title itself is a bit of an exaggeration. You only get to kill 4 members of the Justice League. One of them gets killed by a member of their own team. So we're going into spoilers now, people, so here we go. Along your journey as a member of the Suicide Squad, you will meet characters like Amanda Waller, who is a force to be reckoned with, I will tell you, and she's very intimidating. And she's very much like Viola Davis's portrayal from the DCEU and the soon-to-be DCU. I find her to be one of the most fascinating characters in the game, alongside Wonder Woman, who sadly has very little time in the game. But I will explain about that a bit later on. But when you do see Wonder Woman, she is a scene stealer almost from our protagonists, and you really get that vibe of her being a true warrior. You also get Oswald Cobblepot returning from the Arkham games, and he's less of a ruthless gang leader here and more of a mischievous, irritating arms dealer type who's just more of a nuisance to you. But that's because he implies most of his associates are dead. And then there's Rick Flag, who's just really lackey number 2 type. But he does have a presence, unlike what he did have in the DCU. Thanks, Joel Kinnaman. Now on to the bosses. They go in this order. The first one you have is Flash. And thankfully, he looks like his DCU counterpart, so punching him felt very fascinating. You then go into the multiverse to save Lex of Earth 2 after Lex of Earth 1 has died at the hands of the Flash. Upon saving Lex of Earth 2, you bring him to Earth 1 to help you in your journey against Brainiac. Now, when you get him to Earth 1, he develops gold kryptonite to help you against Superman. Yes, you do get to fight Superman later on in the game. When you return to Earth 1, you will be greeted by Lois Lane by Cameo, and she reveals how she feels about the situation, in particular Superman. The next boss you fight is Green Lantern, who is one of the most frustrating boss battles I've ever faced, until I've worked out what his pattern is. When he dies, it's actually quite emotional to see that a hero who is so stoic in John Stewart actually become this warped individual. After his death, you see Superman turn a nuclear warhead aimed for Brainiac's ship and turn it towards the city of Metropolis, the city he swore to protect once. He then fights against Wonder Woman, and all I will say is it does not go down well for Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman is quickly taken out of the game's narrative when Superman punctures a hole in her heart. That's right, Superman cannot forgive her for their romance in the New 52 saga, and neither could a lot of fans. But seriously, I thought this scene was also emotional to watch. But at least it was more emotional to watch than what they did with Arkham Batman in this. Seriously, I'll get to that in a minute. You then meet Gizmo, who provides you with a lot of handy weapons in the game and a lot of handy vehicles, like a makeshift Batmobile, which kind of looks like Robert Pattinson's one, but that's a topic for another day. He actually helps you out a lot in the game, so you want to take notes of his advice. You then go hunting down Batman and you find the Batcave in Metropolis, and I will say this is probably the best mission I've encountered in the game. And the mission itself is a fantastic one. It's like Scarecrow's missions, but then the conclusion to it, after the boss battle with Batman, the actual final cutscene you have with Batman is just tragic to watch, and not in a good way. Spoiler alert, Batman is killed by a gunshot to the head by Harley Quinn. Yep. Not good. How anticlimactic. You then fight Superman, who is the most difficult boss in the game. And it literally took me a day and a half to work it out. Then the final battle is with 13 Brainiacs. You have to hunt them down one by one. There is humour in the game, and there's decent chemistry between the squad themselves, which is what I like. You feel that you can relate to the characters. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, but the gameplay is a bit clunky and it needs working upon. Overall, it's a decent game. An 8 out of 10 from me. I reckon.